Good morning. Welcome to Trails End Farm. Please excuse my amateurish attempt in making a video, as this is my first one and everything is unscripted. I'm doing this off the top of my head, and you'll see as we go along that it will become glaringly obvious. Today we're going to do a walk around on a Kubota 48-inch Z231 gas-powered turn steer mower. I'm beginning to really like this. I've had it for about 2.5 months. It's a 2021, and there's a lot of features here that I like, and there's a couple that I don't like. And I'll probably get in trouble for this, but you know, being an old Dutchman, it's hard to change your ways at my age. First of all, this unit comes standard with headlights. A really good idea. There's a lot of times that I'm busy doing other things and I've got to mow late in the day, and sometimes I've got about 2 acres plus about 1,000 foot along the county road that I have to mow, and sometimes it just gets late in the day and I have to mow right up until dark. And I really like the lights. They help me out. The only thing I don't like, well, they're too low. You can't really see everything in front of you. If they were up a little higher on the footrest, or maybe on the sides of the roll bar, that would be a fantastic idea. Other than that, yeah, I like them. But there's some things that need to be changed. Coming around to the deck, very well built, weighs about 150, maybe 160 pounds. I know, because I had to pull it out to put my mulching kit in. And I've got a little age on me. I'm in fairly good shape, but it's still I had a hard time. Now, if you'll notice, on this mower deck, you've got a couple of adjustment screws on both sides. One in the front, one in the back. I didn't really know what those were for until I did my first cutting. And I didn't like the cut. It looked like it pushed the grass down more than cut it. And so I called around. My dealer didn't know. I found a dealer up in Dallas that says, oh yeah, it's simple. Put it on a sidewalk or a concrete slab or something flat, piece of plywood. Take your mower blades and put them in line with the mower. In other words, front to back. Measure up from the surface to the front of the blade, and then measure to the rear of the blade. The front has to be 1/4 inch lower. Don't know what difference that makes, but it was a day and night difference in the cut. And I got to thank that guy. I'd give him a shout out, but I forgot his name and I didn't write it down. That's just me. You know, it happens when you get old. Coming around to the side of it, one thing I really like is this one pedal deck lift. Let me show you how it works. 1 foot, push it in, the deck comes up. When you push it in, it automatically locks. You don't have to pull pins or pull levers or anything like that. Once you've got it up, you want to adjust your cutting height right here. And they hit a home run on this. Adjust it to whatever cutting height you like. Push on your deck release and it comes down. It is dead on to whatever cutting height you adjusted it to. That's fantastic. They did good. One thing I don't like on the instrument panel is this. If you'll notice, at the front is where your choke is at, which tells you have to put your accelerator lever all the way to the front to start it. Small engines, well, any engine, it's not a good idea to start your engine wide open. And that is exactly where you'll be when you start it. You always have to hurry up and jerk it back, and it's not good for the engine. I noticed on the other models they have got separate levers for accelerator and choke. That is a lot better idea. Here is your Pto activation switch for your mower deck, your keyed ignition, so somebody doesn't jump on it and drive off, or your kids don't get on it and hurt themselves. You can pull the key out, take it, hide it in the house. It has the standard levers or levers, depending on what part of the country you're from, for turning. I really like these. If you'll notice, wherever you put it, it stays. My other turn steer had a return cylinder that would return it to the neutral position. In a way that was good, but in a way it constantly put a tension or a pushback on your arms. After a while, your shoulders just start to ache. This one I like, and the steering is really responsive on this. Your seat is up high. You can see around very easily, so you can dodge obstacles. And they did a good job on that. Here is your light switch right next to your seat, and your engine hour clock right next to your seat. And what they tell me, I don't know, I haven't gotten there yet, but once you hit at 150 hours, it'll tell you to change oil. That too is a good idea. Here's your fuel tank right here on the side in case you spill something, it doesn't go over your engine. It's a really good location. The knob is easy to take care of, or take off. A large spout, it's harder to spill gas. Coming around to the back, this was part of what sold me on this. A wraparound Nerf bar and cage that protects the back of your engine. And in case you back into something, a brush, a shrubbery, whatever is in your yard, any obstruction, you don't mess up your engine or your accelerator linkage or carburetor or pull off a hose. It's a really good idea. Plus it comes with a little trailer. It's got about a 600-pound capacity pull. That's not bad either. The other ones, you got to buy a separate kit. Coming around to this engine, I really like how they have the air filter. It is really easy to get to. You just pop it off, pop it back on. As you can see, I'm doing this with one hand, and you're finished. The other one I had a Kawasaki Engine. The filter was between the Nerf bar and the engine. Plus you had a really hot exhaust pipe there too, or muffler. And I just didn't like it. And it was hard to seal too. What I've got a problem with, and Kohler's probably going to write me nasty emails, but facts are facts. My other turn steer mower, and I'm not going to give a brand name or a shout out because, well, I just don't, had a Kawasaki engine. Now these are Japanese owned mowers. The company is Japanese owned. It may be made here in the United States, but it's owned by a Japanese company. Why they would put an American made engine on here is beyond me. Why they didn't put a Kawasaki, which would probably have been cheaper for them, I don't know. But the engine itself, and this is probably where I'm going to get in trouble, uses over twice the fuel that the Kawasaki did. Now the Kawasaki, giving this one a little bit of leeway, was a 19 horsepower engine. This one is a 21. It's 2 horsepower different. But twice the fuel? No. That was a problem with me. I could mow my 2 acres plus down the county road 2.5 times on 1 tank of fuel, 5 gallons. This one here takes almost about 4 3/4 tank, 1 mowing. Not good. It does have a really nice, easy to read oil dipstick. Here's your fuel filter, easy to get to. What I really like about this engine, and I don't know if the other ones have got it, right here, there is a hose that comes with this particular engine that you pull out, stick down in this hole, turn on the spigot and drain your oil. That's a fantastic idea, because I've had oil all over the plate on that other mower. And you know, you gotta wipe it up. If you don't, you got dirt sticking to it and it's just a mess. Here is your release for your hydrostatic drive. If you have to push it, take this, push it forward. It unlocks your hydrostatic drive. If you don't do that, believe me, it'll take 3 men and an alligator to push this thing, because it weighs 748 pounds, and believe me, you're not going to do it by yourself. Your hydrostatic dry fluid right here, easy to get to. The other one had it here if you wanted to check it, because all it had was a small opening on the side to check your fluid. There you can do it visually without opening anything up. Your other mower I had 4 bolts and a big heavy plate that covered it and the battery. And every time you wanted to do any work on that, you always had to take 4 bolts off. And then you got a plate that you had to put somewhere, that plus the bolts, and made sure you didn't lose them. It was just a pain. The handbrake right next to your seat, again, very handy. My other one had it down here. Little flimsy, but engineers are smarter than me, and I would imagine this will last the lifetime of the machine. Let me turn this, or pause this for a minute, and I'll show you the battery. Okay, underneath the seat, there's the battery. Really easy to get to and replace, or jump if you needed to. The fuel tank, fairly large, a little over 5 gallons, has a shutoff valve. A lot of these do. It's not a bad idea if you store these for the winter. Turn your engine fuel off, run your engine until you're out of gas, until it's empty. You don't want that nasty service station gas that's got ethanol in it sitting in your carburetor over the winter. Believe me, you will either be paying a lawnmower shop, if you can get in spring, $75 to $100 to take that thing apart and clean it, because it will gum up. Here is your fuse block. Very handy, very easy to read. Let me close this up. Nice large wheels in the back. This thing's got plenty of power. All in all, I'm very satisfied with it. It cost a little more than other turn steers, but I think trade-in value is a lot more, and also durability. The thing looks like it's made to last. You also have a comfort adjustment right underneath your seat. The seat is very comfortable. It's got a lot of padding and got good suspension, got armrest on both sides. And all in all, I'm satisfied with it. I would highly suggest, if you're moving up to a turn steer, go look at a Kubota. They've got really good terms. You can get them on a 3-year term, no interest. And it comes out really good. They'll take your other one, if it's not in too bad a shape, in and trade. So that'll be it for Trails End Farm. I appreciate your time. May the good Lord take a liking to you. And as we say down here in South Texas, auf Wiedersehen. And by the way, for you that do not speak the Germanic language, that is adios, spelled sideways. Got you.